Welcome to the Sassy Autism Mom podcast, where we get you resourced for the many experiences and obstacles you may encounter as a special needs family or caretaker. Please relax and get comfy as we deep dive into today's episode. Hi, welcome back. I am with the Sensory Station Toys. Very, very excited. This is a relocated store in Worcester. It is now at 1098 Pleasant Street in Worcester, Mass. And that's going to be in the information below. So this is such a cool store. I am so excited. I have the owner, Jackie, with me today. And we are going to be talking about how the store started, different things in the store. So we're going to have a whole show and tell section, which will be really, really fun. And I just want to kind of jump in by saying thank you for coming and appearing on the show today. I'm really excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm so excited too.
Yeah, so I want to jump right into this. So how did you decide to get started in this business and, more importantly, a store?
Sure. So for 20 years, I was a mortgage loan processor. I was in real estate. And I started to become a mom very young. I have 5 children of my own. And my last child was born in June of 2022. And after I had him, I didn't want to go back to work at a regular job. And I always wanted to have my own business, but I wanted to have a business that helped people. And I have a lot of friends that are in the autism behavioral fields. A friend of mine is a PhD in human behavior, but specializes in autism. So I learned a lot with and through them. And it dawned on me, like, why is there not a store that's sensory based, but also, early education in general, and things like fidgets, early learning aids, color organizing, cognitive skills, motor skills. And I started researching the products, like what's really needed, what's like top sellers, what's, in our area, would that be something that would, be successful? Is there a need for it? And after doing all my research, I decided I'm doing this. So I opened it up, and my baby was like 4 months old. Everyone was like, well, you're absolutely crazy. You have a 4-month-old. I don't know how you're opening up your own business. So I opened it up on West Boylston Street, and the word got out a little bit over there. And then I found this location, and it has more space. And we just opened here a little over 2 weeks ago, I want to say. And so far, so good. A lot of great feedback. That's how I got into it. I just wanted to have something that gave back, that was a need, and that I enjoyed doing every day. And as a mother of 5, I know toys. So that was a no-brainer. So it's been great.
Awesome. So I did hear you say that it was mostly for like preschoolers and younger age kids. So any particular age group that your store does cater to?
So I would say in general, predominantly 6 months, everything from little baby tissue, paper, noisy papers to rattles. We have things like that for babies, but we also go up to, I would say, maybe age 7 or 8. But we also have teenagers that come in, and they go straight towards the fidget table. We have adults with, delays or special needs. I even have people with dementia or, adult daycare centers that also come in. And they get things like the busy pillows or, comfort things, or, when it comes to dementia and Alzheimer's, they got to stay busy. You got to keep working your brain. So we have like these little busy pillows with tons of buckles all over them, for example.
Oh, okay.
Or, little puzzles, just things to keep them busy and assist with their needs. So it depends, you could have a full grown adult or teenager, but maybe they're delayed and they're only at a level of a 6-year-old. So it depends. But in general, I would say 6 months to 7 or 8. Because once they become 7, it's like they're not it's that pre-teenage, but they don't want the little kid toys. But so they focus more on like digital things or fidgets, which I do have. And I am looking for things to cater towards, the teenagers more. But in general, the 6 months to 7.
Nice, nice. Yeah. And I mean, like for my son, he is 21, but he does operate at a much younger level. And so, I do know him and a lot of his friends do still enjoy the toys and things like that. And that's one of the reasons I definitely want to come over and check it out. I've seen all the pictures and I'm so excited to see the new space and, check it out again. So I think that'll be really awesome. So, what kind of experience do you have any like experience with the special needs community, or is it just like, as a mom,
Yeah.
like what kind of experiences have you had that kind of, I know you said like, your friends are in the business and things like that, but what kind of made it really speak to you?
I have a younger brother um, who, growing up in the late 80s, everyone thought he was just insane. He would put his head through the wall at 3 years old. He would have violent outbursts. Um, he would scream. He would do things in public which we didn't know, why is he behaving like this? And they loaded him up on Ritalin. They wanted to put him in behavioral hospitals. And come to find out years later, in his early 30s, he obviously has autism, ADHD. He's bipolar. My 22-year-old is bipolar. My mother was bipolar. Um, and my 22-year-old's also ADHD. So we all fidget. I fidget, whether I'm tapping my knee or twirling my hair. I can't stay still. So I wanted to have things that just help, whether it's ADHD, nervousness in general. I had a girl that came into the store that had to take a test and she was so nervous, and she came in and she just found a little thing that helped her get through her exam. So a lot of it is the mother in me, but a lot of it is my brother, seeing him grow up, and my own experience seeing my friends' children's as well.
Yeah.
But professional background in it, I don't have that, which I think in a way makes it more genuine, because my love at that level, outside of being a professional in the industry, but also knowing people within it,
Yeah.
having everything is just really nice.
Absolutely. And I mean, it's great to have degrees and things like that, but real world experiences really is one of the most important things, is really understanding it on a more cellular level and having it really embedded within you, as opposed to just reading it in a book and then maybe have a practicum that may be simulated, or not, or like not really in vivo, like really, hi, you're at the mall, all of a sudden your kid has a temper tantrum. What do you do? It's a completely different vibe in the fact that you witness that, especially as a child growing up through your formative years and things like that, really probably created this foundation in you, obviously as a helper, but also watching this, kind of probably got you started as you got older and you had children and you saw some of these things and you had experiences from other friends and whatnot. It really probably drew you in, is what it sounds like. So that's
Just be
awesome.
able to have something, an actual store that people can go and see things. And people come into the store all the time and they're like, I'm so glad you're here. My child cannot have regular toys. Or I do wish lists around Christmas too,
Oh, nice.
for autism centers as well. And they'll give me a wish list. So their families will come in and all their families will come in, and they'll be like, hi, is Brian Smith's list with you? So that way they are not going to the big stores or just ordering offline, not knowing what that child needs.
Right.
So it's nice to have that as well.
Now, do you have gift cards and things like
I
that
do
that
offer
people
gift
can
cards.
do?
Yep.
That's wonderful. Yeah, because so many times people do want to buy for your kids and you don't always necessarily, like, they're just like, they want a what? And you're just like, the thing, it's like a ring and it's got different, like, textures on the thing. And they're just looking at you like, what are you even talking about? And it's like, never mind. So, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Now, what would you say separates your store from a typical toy store, like a Toys R Us, or even going to like Walmart or Target or where have you for toys?
Predominantly, all the things in this store are wooden, and a lot of other stores are predominantly plastic, which is great because wood, you can, when you take care of it. I mean, I still have my mother's Lincoln log set at my aunt's house from the 60s.
Yep.
So it lasts. It lasts longer. It's not apt to like fall apart, like if they throw it, like small pieces of plastic are. And you know, a lot of kids, if they have that moment and they're throwing something, you don't want to spend 40, 50, $60 on something if it's just going to break the same day.
Yeah.
So it's nice to, that's one of the things I would say predominantly, like a lot of it's like Montessori inspired. The quality, it's affordable, because I have gone to other toy stores and I've seen the exact same thing that I sell for $6.99, but it goes for $19.99 because it's in a cardboard packaging. So a lot of my stuff might not have that fancy packaging, but that's where I'm saving. I'm saving on that so I can pass the savings down to my customers. And they appreciate that, because a lot of these families are also on fixed incomes or paying out of pocket for services for their children, or things aren't covered. So it's nice to have things that are affordable to all income levels. And I grew up at a period of my life where I was very neglected and I went without. So I would go to things and places and wish I could get that. And my parents having to say, my mother, no, I don't have the money. It's too expensive. It's nice because children don't choose their financial situation. So why should every child in a less fortunate situation have to only get a 99-cent toy that's going to fall apart the same day? So it's nice that my toys are affordable for all income levels.
Absolutely. And I know we were kind of chit-chatting a little bit before, you came on, and we were talking about, wouldn't it be wonderful if at some point that healthcare companies, insurances really understood the necessity for toys like this? Because while, a person who's diabetic might need insulin, or a person who has, thyroid condition may need things, or what have you, different kinds of medicines, it's almost like these are almost medicines to these kids.
It is, yeah.
Not in the pharmaceutical way, but in a way that, if you can hand them a fidget before they're escalated to the point where they're on the floor in the mall and you're having to scoop them up to move them along, it would be wonderful to see that, in the future as things go along, and having stores like yours and having that presence in the market and having people talking about it, and reaching out to those companies or to their senators or their house reps or whoever to really kind of understand that autism and special needs in general, there's so much full circle around it. There's so many different pieces.
It's growing.
Yeah.
So it's everywhere, and it just keeps increasing. So they should be covered.
Yeah. And things like ADHD, which a lot of people say, well, they can kind of still access curriculum and they can do this and they can do that. It's like, yes, they can. Some of them can't. So again, these are just all ways, just like a drug is going to support certain things, something like this, like a fidget, or, and we're going to get into your bag of goodies. I have like the sensory Santa with me today. I'm so excited to play with this stuff. But yeah, those kinds of things are so important and so necessary to really support getting to people before those behaviors, and then just having fun. Toys is about fun and creativity and learning and experiencing, and it's just such an important piece. So I'm just really excited that you're here, and I can't wait to talk about the toys, because some of these are just so cool. We were kind of playing with them a little bit before, and I'm just excited for everybody to see them and see what we have. So
I can dive on in.
Let's get out that bag. Okay, Santa has landed.
So when it comes to kids getting ready for preschool, this is a really good one. It's a busy book. And I have two different types in my store. They're very, very similar. They're just like slightly different in what pages. So every book comes with all these activities, and everything's Velcro based. So they can learn their numbers, their ABCs, and on every page there's a dry erase marker activity. And they come with dry erase colored markers for that.
Nice.
And it provides the child with independence. I have kids that come into the store and they're like, oh, I love my homework book. or they go home and they play school with their siblings, or they enjoy it.
Yeah,
So it's really
100%.
nice to be able to take home something that your kids like, they're going to reuse, because there's nothing worse than spending money on something that ends up in the corner of your room for the rest of the year.
Yep.
So this is really intriguing, and it's colorful, body parts, which is really important. I love that it's fruits and vegetables. It's not burgers and fries. I'm big on that stuff.
Absolutely.
Sports, all sorts of things. So we offer busy books in the store, which is great. So that's one of them.
I love that. And something like that, it's very similar. A lot of kids who are, nonverbal and what have you, a lot of them use like the PECS pictures. And PECS are so difficult to actually understand what's going in it that I love the fact that that's just really basic as far as this is a fruit, this is its name kind of situation. So whether they're a visual learner as far as the actual item goes, or if they're a text-based learner, you have both of those going on. And I think that's really, really important. And I loved seeing that because it reminded me, like when my son was young, we had this little PEC book. And because he immediately understood that the I want blah, 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 and having to move the thing on, he's too lazy to do that. So he would just take the thing and just put it right on there and be like, I want butter. And I was just like, okay, and they were like, well, no, we really can't pass him because he didn't go through the process of getting the I want and this and that and da da da. I'm like, but the point is, he got right to the sentence that you needed him to get, and it just wasn't like flowing for people because, like, again, they're standardized tests and you have to go through certain steps, and something like this just puts it just out there. A lot of parents work with their kids at home, especially when they have any kind of like intellectual disabilities. And so, I mean, I remember sitting at the little tiny table in our kitchen and doing things and making my own flashcards and making my own things. And the fact that this is already done for me, I probably just saved hours upon hours, let alone the prices to laminate and do this and do that. And the fact it has activities on top of it to cement the ideas in, I think is just so cool. So I'm loving that. So,
and we also have like a lot of BCBAs that'll come in.
Yeah.
Or when I travel to the autism behavioral centers, they buy these.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they visit homes or in-home visits, they bring these and they work with the kids as well.
It's amazing.
That's nice.
It's beautiful.
Another good one, which I see a lot of school counselors and therapists buy, are the breathing balls. You just breathe to it and it calms you down. Or the kids just like watching it because it's visually stimulating, how it goes in and out. So these are really cool.
Those are awesome.
And I was at a museum not too long ago and I saw one for $21.99. I saw it for $5.
Okay, I've seen those
that's
at fairs and things like that for like $25 and $30. So
it's like the exact
great
same
buy.
thing. So again, I really do try with my prices. I really do.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is such a fair price.
This is really cool. The teenagers, the older crowds, they like these. This is called a spin lollipop. And you just take it in your palm and you just spin it.
That's so cool.
And it's colorful and it's really stimulating and it's really cool. So they like that. That's really neat. And
That is such a neat. I love those
stand, and it
gadgets.
can even be like a little bookshelf decor in the meantime.
Ah, yes. That's really good because so often things like that don't come with anything and they just end up like sitting on the desk and then it just like gets,
or you step on it or something.
well, they step on it or it gets like, if it's one of those kind that has like the ribbons and stuff, it gets tangled or it gets lost or what have you. So I love the fact that it has a stand and it's cute.
Yeah,
like
it's
to
cute.
leave it up there either way is really cute. So it's fun. I love it.
Let's see, what else do I have in
What
here?
else do you have in your magic bag?
I have a little girl that comes into my store and she loves water.
Okay.
She loves anything that flows liquid and it calms her down immediately. And she's inspired a few of my purchases.
Okay.
And this is one of them. It's just like they call it a little liquid timer. And it comes in different colors. It's so simple. But they just sit there and they like watching it. And you can time it for how long it goes and watch all the bubbles and, flip it back over.
No, does it have a timer in it, you mean?
It doesn't have a timer in it.
You can just set a
But
timer.
they call it a
for
liquid timer.
Okay.
I think it runs for maybe like a minute total.
Oh, cool.
And
It's kind of like our version of lava lamp.
it's good, it can be similar to like a talking stick. When this goes all the way down, you got to pass it on to the next one. And it's, So a lot of
That's a
teachers
great
will buy
idea.
these for like talking time.
And also kids, if they have, like for my son, he's very verbally stimmy about Disney. And I remember we had like red and green bracelets and like, when he could talk about Disney and when he couldn't and yada yada. But I love this idea of having something that's more visual and entertaining that he can look at while he's, doing that. So
And it's
that's
good.
pretty cool.
It's even like a little diaper bag staple for me if I get caught at the walk-in clinic.
Yeah.
Keep the kids busy, because since COVID, they don't have the activity centers on the walls anymore. So it's always
yeah,
good to keep
that's
a little
right.
stash in your bag just in case, or the car or the airplane or something.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
So those are
especially an
good.
airplane. That might be amazing.
One of my favorites, I sell two types of switchboards. This is one of them. This I'm just, obsessed with because I see a lot of people get in elevators and they just want to press all the buttons. And I'm one of them. My son's one of them. So you just turn it on and you just start pressing all the buttons. If you're good at it, maybe you can aim and make different shapes with it, or a square or, whatever you want.
Oh, cool.
And then when you're done with it, you just turn it off. So stuff like this is really neat to play with as well.
That's fun. Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
The pop tubes are very popular. My 19-month-old loves these. Not only did he chew on them,
Of course.
but these ones light up. So they have a little button. And when you press the little button once, that's one speed, that's a second speed, or it just goes solid.
Oh, nice.
And one of the moms came in when I first opened and she posted on her Instagram, she had stretched it all the way out, shut the lights off, turned it on and placed it on the floor in like a ladder. And her son was jumping over them.
Oh, that's so
So that was
cute.
neat. But yeah, the kids really like these too.
That's a fun
are
one
fun.
too. Yeah, for sure.
And then what else? My another diaper bag go staple for me is the little slug guy here.
Oh gosh.
The way that he sounds, it's like soothing to so many people. And everybody that comes in, they're like, that is so cool. I just love how it sounds. And it's bright. So it makes a good teether too.
Does it
my
have
own
a
experience.
face on it?
It doesn't have any face.
No. Okay.
It's just really neat. This is one of the top fidgets. They love these. And I see these in a lot of other places too.
Yeah, and the rainbow colors are fun and engaging and
And it's hand size.
and
it's
it's
light,
perfect. Yeah.
pocket size.
Can I?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. That's so cute.
it's nice. It's satisfaction. It's instant gratification. It's really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like watching those videos on YouTube where people are like dumping sand colors. It's like, oh, so it's really neat.
just calming and relaxing.
We got these little magic cube things that go into like 72 different shapes. So if you
Ooh.
get really good at it, you can just make all different sorts of things with these. These are great, to fidget with, or if you're in therapy and you can't stop moving and you're talking. Like right now, I'm just talking to you. and I
Talking to
just
you
wanna
and you
move.
just need to play.
Yeah. Those are nice.
At first, I thought it was one of those like fortune teller things that they had
Yeah,
when I
right.
first saw it. I'm like, wait,
It's so
what?
funny because the other day at work, I was like, how did I make those? When you fold the paper. And
Yeah,
you
with the
write
origami.
things on the
Yeah,
inside,
yeah.
And you're like, well, I live in a mansion, a house with this.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking it was gonna like fold down into that kind of like cubey sort of thing. And
These are really neat. And I fidget with this all the time when I'm at the store trying to transfer. And some of them have different colors, so visually.
I was gonna say, yeah, I can see like one is like mountains, which is kind of is it mountains or
Fire,
clouds, and
squiggles,
fire,
water, landscape.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a fidgety Rubik's cube.
Yeah. And yeah, I have those too at my store as well.
Awesome.
And one of my
Used to love
favorites,
those.
I would say, is the digital flashcard reader.
Okay.
We have these in Arabic English, Spanish English, and then just English.
Okay.
They're chargeable with a USB, and when they're fully charged, they last like a week, depending on the usage.
Nice.
And they're so lightweight. And they come with double-sided flashcards. And when you turn it on, when you put the card in, this one's Arabic English.
Okay.
And when you insert the card, it'll say it in the language first, Arabic, and then
Okay.
in English. So kids who are learning
Oh.
English,
Yeah.
or have issues with, recognizing, the word, the object, this is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
it says it for
amazing.
you, which is great. And it's got the volume control. So these are probably one of my favorites as well.
No, and English as a second language has really been growing, obviously, in this country, and it's just really important to have things like
It's hard to
that.
find items like
Yeah,
this in other languages.
exactly,
Like it really
and
is.
dual.
I as a store trying to look for these products have a
Hmm.
hard time.
Oh, I believe it,
I see a
and
lot like in Spanish,
well,
but
yeah.
in other languages like Chinese or Arabic, it's difficult.
Well, also because usually if it has it, it's like either all Spanish or all English. Like it's not that dual, and I think that's what's really
Yeah.
cool about that is that you're getting
You
two
get to hear
languages
it.
for the price of one,
Right.
which is nice. And it's important, especially like you said, if you are from a family who English is second language. I mean, it's so important for the kids to be able to do that. And then if you have an intellectual type disability on top of it, just learning your, English or just learning, whether it's Spanish or Arabic, I mean, it's really hard to do that anyway, and especially English with all of our nuances in our language, it's really hard. So I love that
Or
fact
even
that
for
it
me, if
goes
I
back
want to
and
learn
forth.
Arabic, I've even
Yeah.
learned a few words as well
Oh,
from
cool.
just using that myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then last but not least is this little guy, it's sensory brush. You can use this on infants to wash them, but this is soothing. It's quiet. It's a nice fidget, like when you're just trying to calm yourself down and you need something. Because it's hard to find pocket-sized things that are silent.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
do have like worry stones and I have like little mini fidget cubes with buttons and things on it, but this is a nice little one too.
Yeah, I love that. It's so cool. And like you said, it's so important. And the more that like as I'm looking at this, I mean, this is really cool for your diaper bag and what have you. I don't know if it'd be a great fit on a plane.
Yeah.
But the fact like something like that would be great on the plane. The liquid
good, yeah.
timer, your the light up one, the busy book. I mean, a lot of those would be great for travel. And so many
Got a
families
lot
do
of little goodies
travel.
in the store that anybody anytime 6 days a week when we're open can
Yep.
pop on in and check it out because it's nice to have a place that you can see what you're getting. Because like
Absolutely.
Amazon, it's a hit or miss.
Yeah.
And I'm an Amazon shopper. I think we all are
Yeah,
now.
of course.
But I try to read all the reviews when it comes to that too and see pictures and stuff. But the store is great because it gets you and your kids out of the house.
Absolutely.
And the kids come in and they play with all the demos. I have a little demo table. Most of the things I have are already put out, so you don't. And if it's not, I'll gladly open it so you can see what it looks like.
And you're comfortable with people coming in, with the kids coming in and
We have a little
playing
play
and
area in the
touching.
back.
Awesome.
And
Yeah.
don't worry if your kid is learning to transition from. Oh, okay, bye. It shuts itself off.
It's like Siri.
If your kids are having trouble, transitioning from one place to another, okay, it's time to go, 5 more minutes. You're giving those, verbal, warnings, okay, 2 more minutes. And then the kid still has, very upsetting situation. A lot of parents, it's sad, but I have to say it. When they're in public places, those public places get frustrated that these kids are having, a moment of difficulty, or if they're screaming or they're crying. And I tell the parents, I'm like, I don't care. I get it. Don't fear going out anywhere because you're worried about how your child might respond. They're learning how to get around in their environment. They're learning, you're learning. And if somebody's got a problem with that, me
Exactly.
personally, I hold my tongue, but come to the store because I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to tell you, please leave, your child's being too loud. Or if they knock over the toys or whatever, fine. If they get overstimulated, I can pick it up. It's not a fridge full of milk, so don't worry about it.
Exactly. Exactly. In so many places it is hard because, they'll be like, oh, well, you have to pay for that. And it's like,
No.
okay, but I mean, that's what's so fantastic about having a store like Sensory Station Toys. And I want to make sure that everybody, like I said, I really wanted to have you on here today to really kind of show us what you have at the store. We're going to be also, as we're talking about this stuff, we are going to be having pictures of the store just so everybody knows. Take a peek at this. Definitely come down, check it out. It's 1098 Pleasant Street in Worcester. We're going to have all the information. We're going to have your website on there and
Website
if
should be up
any
in
of your
about a week or so.
socials and all that kind of stuff. So everything's going to be on there. So you'll be able to find it online and also be able to go there, which I think the most magical part will be actually physically going to the store.
Yeah.
Because again, like you said, you understand it, you get it, and you just want to connect with the community. So Jackie, thank you so much
Thank you
for
so much
being
for
being
having
here
me.
today. I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. I can't wait to go in myself and go nuts. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
And keep unity in the community. Thank you for joining me today. Please be sure to follow us on Facebook at Sassy Autism Mom, on Instagram, Sassy Autism Mom, our website and blog, sassyautismmom.com. Now let's get out there and change the world.